Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt drawn to someone, not because of how they looked, but because of how they carried themselves, how they spoke, the quiet confidence in their eyes? That's not luck, and it's not magic. It's called having an attractive personality. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to develop one. But let's be clear, we're not talking about being nice or likable in the basic sense. We're going to dive deep into proven psychological traits that make people magnetic, backed by behavioral science and social dynamics used by high performers, leaders, and yes, even elite-level social engineers. So if you're tired of surface-level advice like, just be yourself, or smile more, stay with me, because what I'm about to share can radically shift how others perceive you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. First, here's the truth most people won't tell you. Attraction is 80% nonverbal. According to a study by Dr. Albert Mehrabian, 93% of communication is nonverbal, and only 7% is the actual words you say. That means your tone of voice, your eye contact, your body language, they're doing the heavy lifting long before your words even land. So if you want to be seen as attractive, work on your presence. Hold eye contact just 1 second longer than what feels natural. Speak with intention, not louder, just slower and clearer. Pause for effect. It triggers what psychologists call perceived status. People associate calm control with leadership, and leadership is inherently attractive. But what makes someone unforgettable isn't just confidence. It's what I call calibrated authenticity. This means you're real, but with precision. You share stories that are personal, but you never overshare. You show vulnerability, but you don't collapse into insecurity. In fact, research from Dr. Brené Brown proves that selective vulnerability, like sharing lessons from your failures, creates trust and likability faster than polished perfection ever could. The next element is emotional intelligence. This is a huge one. Studies from Harvard and Yale show that people with high EQ consistently score higher in professional and personal success, not because they're smarter, but because they read emotional signals better. Want to increase your attractiveness? Practice mirroring. Not in a robotic way, but subtly match the posture, energy, and tone of the person you're speaking to. It activates the limbic system and creates subconscious rapport. Combine that with what FBI negotiators call labeling emotions. For example, it seems like you've had a rough week, or sounds like you're really excited about this project. People feel deeply seen when you can name what they feel better than they can. That's a power most people underestimate. But let's go even deeper, the psychology of scarcity. Humans are wired to value what is rare. So if you're too available, too eager, or constantly seeking validation, your perceived value drops. Instead, practice strategic detachment. Be warm, but have boundaries. Be kind, but don't overextend. Be present, but not always accessible. This balance of connection and mystery is what creates intrigue. Now here's something advanced. Let's talk about narrative identity. According to Dr. Dan McAdams, the stories you tell about yourself shape your personality. That's right, your identity isn't fixed, it's fluid. So ask yourself, what story are you projecting? Are you the victim, the critic, the joker, or are you the hero? When you shift your internal story to one of growth, resilience, and agency, people feel it. Your language changes, your posture changes. You start using I chose instead of I had to. You start saying this taught me instead of why did this happen to me? And that shift is magnetic. Now let's address charisma, that elusive, almost magical quality. Charisma is a mix of power, presence, and warmth. According to Olivia Fox-Cabane, author of The Charisma Myth, you don't have to be born with it. You can build it like a muscle. One trick, when someone's talking to you, imagine they are the most fascinating person you've ever met. Your micro-expressions will shift. Your eyes, your eyebrows, your posture, and they'll feel that energy. That makes you charismatic. But here's the twist. True attractiveness isn't about external traits. It's about internal congruence. When who you are, what you say, and how you behave are in alignment, people trust you instantly. They may not even know why, but they feel safe around you. This leads us to the final piece, purpose. People with a clear sense of purpose radiate a different energy. They're not chasing approval. They're not desperate for attention. They're on a mission, and that's rare. In fact, in a 10-year longitudinal study at the University of Michigan, people with a strong sense of life purpose were rated as more inspiring, influential, and attractive by their peers, regardless of their physical appearance. So if you want to be truly attractive, stop asking, how do I get people to like me? And start asking, what do I stand for? Because the moment you connect with something bigger than yourself, you stop needing to impress. And ironically, that's when people are most drawn to you. Now, before we wrap up, here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, walk into every interaction with one mindset. I have nothing to prove, only value to share. Watch how your body language shifts, how your voice steadies, how your presence expands. And remember, people don't remember what you said or even what you did. They remember how you made them feel. Be the person who makes them feel seen, safe, and inspired, and you'll never have to chase attention again because your personality will do all the work for you.